Hi, welcome to Iris Tech. My name is Trey Cook. I'm a photographer. As a matter of fact, I'm a visually impaired photographer. A few things to know before I start this first video. 1. I have no engineering knowledge. 2. I'm an ideator. 3. I'm going to try and have a bunch of fun with this channel. And 4. I'm a Googler. When I say that, I mean I have a very large bias towards Google. So, if you guys don't mind that, then we can continue. So today, I wanted to make a video on what I think would be good features or ideas for Android Quiche or Android Q. I think it'll be Quiche because that's the only sweet-like thing that I can really think of. Here, I'm going to move a little bit further back so that you guys can see me. So, with that, let's get into the list. Starting from some basic. First off, I think that Google should tweak their app suggestions. They work amazing for me. As a matter of fact, I wish that Google would release the SDK for them to other launchers because I love it. I honestly love it. I would like to use other launchers, but I can't. On my Pixel 3, because I use those shortcuts all the time. All the time. Just adding this video in post really quick. What I should have said is I want Google to change how apps are shown. For instance, while I'm at work, always around 10:30, 11:30, I will open the clock because I do a timer for my break. So maybe they could edit the importance of different contributing factors. I know there's a word for that, but right now it's not coming to me. So, like for instance, he's in this app, so he usually goes from this app to this app, but it's 10:30, so he's probably going to use the clock. I'm sure that, that's machine learning, so I'm sure it's going to get better anyway, but just an idea. Second, I think that this generation, Google should work on tablets again. I'm going to try not to get on a rant about that point. That is something that I feel kind of strongly about. But let's just say for now that I don't think Chrome OS is working. Not like Google wants it to. I don't think Chrome OS can replace a tablet. And I think that Google would be better off working on Android. Thirdly, let's add some more use to the navigation bar. Google is switching to gesture navigation, but if you're going to do that, and I think that Google's way is better, I think that you should have other things beside the pill. They call it a pill, the little thing that you swipe up on the home button. Release an SDK so that apps can use it. So say you're in a drawing app and you have a slider on either side of the button, and one could do the opacity of where you're drawing and the other one can do the width of the drawing utensil that you're using. That way you don't have to buy an expensive stylus. You can get the same functionality out of just a cheap one. Open source, what Android is about. Fourthly, Android still has a problem with files. We all know it. I think that a lot of people don't know, and this is what kind of turns some people off of Android, that there is a bit of a problem with the file system. In order to completely clear an app, you have to, 1, go into the app info. Don't just uninstall it. 2, go and hit the force close button. 3, hit the clear data button. And then 4, hit the uninstall button. That is something that doesn't work. And when people when people don't do that, they leave files on the device. And even if it's just an empty folder, that still takes up a little bit of space, right? So what I think Google should do is they should redirect, and they can actually do this, I believe, without having to mess with a whole bunch. But I think every application should connect to a little, I'd call it a nodule, so that they can move all the other folders, the DCIM, the data, all that stuff can be put into a folder, and then have a different folder on the surface for every application. That way, if users do go into the files, they can find their files easily. Like, you could have the downloads inside the Chrome application. I think that would make sense to a lot of people. And then when you uninstall an app, there should be a little pop-up that says, hey, you have files in the folder connected to this, and would you like to delete these files as well? Finally, I'm going to touch on the guided user interface, or the GUI. But here's what I think should happen for UI, at least for phones. I think that you should go back to the vertical application, recent applications page. I think that makes it easier to scroll through on phones. I think that you can see more like that. Even if you just turn them into squares and just had it more of a list, I think that would work better. Especially, I mean, I know phones are getting thinner, but the screens are also getting bigger. And I don't think it's always easy to do this. I also think that you should move UI to the bottom. So when it comes to phones, okay, let me put it this way. I think Google should... No, I'm not going to get into that right now. For phones, I'll talk about the other UI types in another video when I talk about Android tablets and what I think they should do for that. For phones, I think that you should move your slide bars to the bottom of the screen. So that when you... A lot of apps nowadays even have it like this, where you have different categories along the bottom of the screen. I think that you should move the slide bars like that. So if you slide up on one of those categories, it gives you different options. Not necessarily a sidebar for each and every category, just a sliding bar of options when you swipe upon those categories. That way it's easier to reach from the thumb, and they don't have to shimmy up and down to reach different options. I think that a lot of the UI elements on a phone can be put on the bottom, and that would allow for better maneuvering. This is, again, I'll remind you guys, this is my first video, and I'm going to edit the hell out of this. So yeah, that's my first video. I'm not sure how long this will turn out to be. If it's not very long at all, I will add more, but then I'll tell you what I'm going to do for the next couple of videos. Next time, I think I'm going to tell... So these are ideas for Google. Next time I'm going to tell Google what I think they should do with their Pixel line for phones, and then I'll talk. And then the video after that, I'll talk about tablets. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.